Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I got your weather update today, not only on the storms going on for today, plus on that next storm system, because we still have that next storm system coming in. Bring that enhanced section with it also, and it did stretch, like I told you, into Tuesday as well. That is going to be an overnight problem with our severe weather. I will give you the latest updates on that as well. If you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I do weather forecasting all year long. Timestamps are always in the description to help save you time. All I ask, if you just want to end these impacts, please share this information to others. Hit the like button. Do whatever you can to help this video get out to other people so they can get this information. Now, up here for Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, even Virginia, this is going to be an afternoon issue on your potential chances for tornadoes. This does not mean the whole eastern seaboard is going to light up with tornadoes everywhere. I did see someone say that yesterday. That is not right. There's going to be a lot of heat, a lot of convection, a lot of lift, and a lot of dew points in the whole area. And we do have storms coming through for today. Matter of fact, it's starting first off this morning. We had it first off for northern Florida, southern Georgia, going into South Carolina. You can see we still have some hail cores as we go through this morning. But as you go through later on, it's going to be right here for Jacksonville all the way towards Tampa as you go all the way from 1 to 3 o'clock. That's where your storm cells are going to be the strongest in chances for a spin up for today. We see how it goes along the coast of Georgia. It goes into South Carolina as well. A lot of this is going to turn into damage and winds as well. But right along the coast, you got to watch out for these cells to spin up a quick tornado. And that is possible. Not that you have a bunch of them, but you can see the hail cores in here as we go through 1 p.m. for today. Starts getting really strong. Also over here, as you go from Jacksonville all the way towards Tampa, you can see these cells showing strong. And as they go into the Atlantic, they're strengthening up on the warm waters. But as this keeps going, you can see it does travel towards North Carolina as well. But this turns into a wind event. Some hail can be in there, so it could be a renegade cell somewhere in there, maybe even a sleeper cell. Now, once you get going through the afternoon, you start getting these little renegade cells starts popping through. And really, once you get around 3 o'clock, you start getting some singular cells, some renegades that starts coming by themselves, not showing a big chance for tornadoes with those. And as this goes 3 o'clock and on, then you start getting a little more severe as you talk about over here for Kentucky, going into Ohio, West Virginia. This is where your cells starts changing and you get a lot of wind direction. You change the height. You get a lot of strong winds aloft, even over here for West Virginia. All these storms has moved a little bit further to the east. What was shown in Kentucky and Ohio yesterday is now showing that it's going to be in West Virginia and potentially into Virginia. As you get these cells coming through, you see how it's more severe in this region than it is over here for Indiana or Ohio, and I'll show you why. As you go all the way to 5 and 6 o'clock, you still get these little singular cells that comes out, could easily be a renegade. You can even have a sleeper cell in this line of storms as this pushes through. Now, your latest update on everyone that already had these storms, you can see on the power outages that you still have Louisiana at 70,000, Georgia at 30, Mississippi almost at 30, Texas at 10, and not in Alabama a little bit less than 10. It just left the yellow mark, and these are getting better. There is other states without power. You got South Carolina almost 9,000. You have a lot of people still without power for this morning. Now you see as you go through this morning all the way till noon, you have these very warm temperatures coming in from Florida and the southeast, and that's where your severe weather, your lift is kicking in as well. But you can watch all the way from 1 and 2 o'clock. You get this pockets of very warm temperatures kicking in for Georgia, South Carolina. Those also go towards North Carolina and a little bit more for West Virginia also. This is bringing a lot of lift, a lot of convection in the atmosphere, and that's helping storms boom up as you go through this afternoon all the way into West Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. A little area right here as you go through 3 p.m., 4, 5, and 6. A very strong moment where you get a lot of lift, and these cells could spin up a tornado or two. Then it goes up later in the afternoon, and it keeps your convection for North Carolina and Virginia. But when you look at it, you'll see there's not many storms tapping in. You do have the curvature of the front coming through the tail of that storm, and that's where you need to watch out for potential renegades as you come into later tonight. But I believe with your lift, with your dew points, everything's still there, and these storms passing through, it could tap into that a little bit. It just comes by later on tonight. I'm talking about Maryland. I'm talking about potentially going by Jersey or Delaware right along the coast. Could get a water spout. Need to watch those cells because those cells are going through all this lift, and it is going to be there as it comes through later tonight and overnight. So just be aware of that. But right here, when you still have all this lift coming through Virginia, through North Carolina, and it goes through Maryland, you can see that you do have these cells start popping up, and that could easily spin up a chance for a tornado. Just be aware of that. I think this could be an issue later on because you can see right here that you get all them strong dew points, especially as you go from 3 p.m. for West Virginia, very far eastern Ohio, into North Carolina, into South Carolina. And as you go through the evening, look how it keeps all them dew points as you go through midnight, also early in the morning as that travels across Maryland, Delaware, portions of Pennsylvania, maybe a little bit of Jersey. And all you need is 55 dew points to start having severe weather. And you do have cells coming through at this time with these dew points. You do have lift, you do have cape energy for these storms to feed. So I think that that will ramp up a little bit more for this afternoon. That will change. And you can see the latest update with National Weather Service. You do still have that chance for tornadoes. You have the 5% in the brown, the 10% in the yellow, and you have this big green 2%. That don't mean all this is going to grow with tornadoes. That is not true. Don't believe that, everybody. Here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. Also, the wind threat. The wind threat is going to be strong as well. The hail threat is what's going to be minor. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind threat for today. And you can see, yeah, hail threat. It is going to be minor effects. National Weather Service has severe thunderstorms with a few tornadoes, scattered damage and winds, and isolated large hail are possible across the upper Ohio Valley and parts of the Appalachians this afternoon. Scattered damage and winds and a couple tornadoes will also be possible across southeast Georgia into northern Florida, mainly this morning through early afternoon. But you can see with your winds aloft that as you go through this afternoon, it really starts sparking up. Your winds aloft as you go through for Virginia, as you're getting those storm cells coming through, there's a lot of wind direction change with height potential, bringing you the chances for the tornadoes and bringing you the damage and winds. Plus, on the wraparound as you go through tomorrow morning, a lot of strong winds aloft. So now you can see the winds. You have all these damaging winds, and then the wraparound winds coming by in the morning, bringing a lot of damage and winds. You have 50 and 60 coming across, all across Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina as well. Even getting some 70 and potential 80s right there. That's showing at least some strong cells going to start bursting up for the edge of North Carolina. Be aware of that. A lot of strong winds, getting up to 60 now miles per hour wind gusts as this storm moves offshore. Then early in the morning, you're going to get those 50 and this 60 miles per hour wind gusts coming from the wraparound for intercoastal New York, western Pennsylvania as well, and Ohio and Michigan. Be aware of this. This is bringing a lot of high winds. And just showing 15-minute increments, which is not that long of a forecast with HRRR, you can see where it kicks in all those 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. It is going to bring a lot of winds. And the rainfall, you can see it's going to be really heavy for the Panhandle of Florida, going through southern Georgia, the coast of South Carolina, and North Carolina. This right here with strong winds could cause power outages, make trees topple over. And you can see all night long into the early morning hours, you still got rain adding up to 1 to 2 plus inches of rainfall for the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, Ohio Valley, and some of the Great Lakes. Then we still have that next storm system coming in for Monday. This is coming in for Monday, also overnight into the early morning hours for Tuesday. This is bringing chances for tornadoes in the south, maybe even an isolated tornado threat for Tuesday for the north central, for the upper Midwest. We still have a pocket of lift going around this upper level low as it travels north. There's going to be all kind of threats, large hail, damage and winds. I can see all that coming with this system. And you can see where your winds aloft, this is a 500 millibar winds right next to that upper level low starts coming into a surface low. You can see you get a lot of strong winds coming in for Monday night into Tuesday morning. This is going to be an overnight storm system all the way from the south central all the way towards Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes. Still getting a lot of winds as you go through Tuesday, maybe lasting all the way till Tuesday afternoon. And you can see this when you look a little bit lower, your lower level winds right below that shows that these winds do start ramping up as you're going overnight into the early morning hours. This is going to be a nocturnal threat as this goes all morning long, and it is going to carry in to Tuesday. Coming in on the eastern side and on the western side on the wraparound, getting a lot of winds, getting a lot of storms as well as that goes through the evening. A very powerful storm coming through as we go through Monday and Tuesday, and it's nocturnal. And your main culprit is right here. As you go through Monday, this is where you're getting that high ridge where it goes way up to the north, pulls up all these warm temperatures. You can see this also with your dew points. As you go through Monday, it starts pulling up all this moisture from the Pacific, also from the Gulf of Mexico, all together, pushing to the north, filling your atmosphere with this precipitation, creating these thunderstorms. And overnight, still showing it is stronger overnight, where you have all these strong dew points on them as it goes all the way until Tuesday evening. This is going to be strong in nature. You can see this with your lift as you go all the way into Monday. You get those very strong winds start building. You get a lot of lift with those as well as your heat, and you get a lot of strong lift for Monday. As you go through the day, it just goes and builds, and it keeps building more and more. This is going to bring chances for tornadoes in the south, where you have your strongest dew points, and your winds aloft also, and your wind direction change with height. Coming from the Gulf, going to the north, coming from the west, going to the east, a little bit higher in the atmosphere, all the way to 7 p.m. And then watch overnight. You still have the lift overnight dealing with this storm as it goes towards Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes. Then for Tuesday, you still have it building for Tuesday. You still get lift on the eastern side of the upper level low, bringing more chances for severe weather. And look how it just makes this long tail whip right there. And you can see the setup. As you go into the evening for Monday, you start getting these strong storms building for northern Texas. This is going to be a lot of lightning strikes. I'll show you. That's going to be chances for large hail. Then as you go later in the evening, it's going to start building for Oklahoma. It's going to start building for the upper Midwest, for the Dakotas. And as you go early in the morning, overnight, you still get a lot of lightning strikes, a lot of chances for large hail on the northern side and the southern side of the system, while that surface low pressure deepens to 986. And then while you go to Tuesday morning, waking up early Tuesday morning, you get this nasty banding right here. This right here is going to be severe in nature. In the south, chances for tornadoes. You can see the bowing out, chances for damage and winds, and large hail. Also up here on the northern side for the upper Midwest, this is all going to be chances for large hail also. And as you keep pushing early in the morning for Tuesday, you still have all these storms building on the eastern side of this, and you're starting to get some winds on the wraparound. You see those tight isobars. Now you're pushing around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and you still got these storms building, bringing chances for large hail. I will show you, and it will stay there as you go through the morning, all the way till noontime, and it still deepens and strengthens. You got cyclogenesis, a strengthening low pressure, bringing all these winds with it. You can see the tight isobars. And as you go towards the afternoon and late evening, you still have storms bringing large hail with that. It is going to be Monday and Tuesday. And you see the same shot right here. Here's a little storm starting off in northern Texas as you go through 4 p.m. for Monday. As you go later in the evening, you still have chances for this large hail in the southern side and over here for the upper Midwest. As you go 10 o'clock, you still got all these lightning strikes bringing chances for hail, but you still got the large hail all the way through the southern side as well. And as you go later in the evening, you see it still builds. All these lightning strikes coming down from Texas all the way into Minnesota, bringing you chances for large hail. And as you go early in the morning, still have it 4 o'clock in the morning. Still have it as you go 7 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. Then it starts building up for 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You get that bowing out. You get chances for hail. Also, this is where you have a lot of lift and a lot of strong dew points. This is going to bring more severe weather. I think we're going to get a risk for tornadoes up here. I think Tuesday is going to add up a little bit more. Plus the damage and winds. You can see you're going to have the damage and winds on the first part of the storm all the way till Tuesday morning, bringing 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour wind gusts, even 70 in the higher elevations of New Mexico, even for northern Mexico. But look at all this, bringing us 50s and some pockets of 60s. And then overnight Monday into Tuesday, still bringing more 50s with this. Definitely going to be nocturnal. And here's the latest update. You do have your 15% and you have your enhanced risk of 30%. Here's your cities and states at risk. And you can see here as you go through Monday that they do believe that it will be convection development will blossom both south and especially north during this event. And here you go for Tuesday. After you get that banding out with those strong dew points, you get that lift, and you get those storms building. Here's your cities and states at risk. I think this might upgrade a little bit for your chances for tornadoes. But thank you for your time, everybody. I hope this has helped you. If it has, consider leaving a like. Make sure you click the bell if you do subscribe. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And normally I do an update every afternoon. I also do that during hurricane season every afternoon, just so we're up to date on what's going on. I've been doing it all week this long. I've been putting in 12, 15-hour days every day. And I got to spend some time with my family. After this, for this afternoon, this is going to maul down, and we're going to be talking about the next storm. So I will see you again for tomorrow morning. Now, before you go on with your day today, Romans 15, 13, and 14. Now the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that ye may abound in hope, through the power of the Holy Ghost. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye are also full of goodness, filled with knowledge, able also to admonish one another. Amen. Make sure you always take care of others, whether they're your neighbors, whether they're your friends or not your friends. Have a great day, everybody, and I hope everyone is okay. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I hope he always keeps you safe. You, your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone that you touch. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Even so, Lord, come. Can't wait for that day.